It had been quite a while since I had looked at a standard set of earbuds from SoundPEATS. So when they offered to send me these bad boys right here, the SoundPEATS Air 5 Pro Adaptive Hybrid Noise Canceling Wireless Earbuds, I said sure, send them on my way. We'll give them a quick review and see exactly what kind of progress these guys are making at continuing to keep up with some of the much larger brands in terms of audio quality at a much lower price. These earbuds do not have the price currently listed because it's not actually for sale for another day at time of recording this portion of the video, but I believe they're going to be $79.99, and I think that there's actually going to be a coupon code down below, which I think is going to get the total price down to $59.99. I'm thinking there's also going to be one of those coupons that are like down here somewhere that you're going to like click a little box. So that plus the coupon code should get you $59.99 on these earbuds. So at $60, I think that these are in that sort of still, fairly budget-minded territory. But the first thing we need to do is unbox them. So we're going to rewind the clock about 2 weeks ago when I first got this thing in, and we're going to do that quick unboxing. And then we'll jump back to present day and talk about how they perform. So we do have a 10mm dynamic driver. That's pretty decent. Hybrid active noise cancellation. That's always good to have these days. 37 hours of playtime. Looks like it is your typical like AirPod stem style earbud. And it says here that you can hear the difference, and that's always good to know. All right, in here we probably just have some basic documentation. That's pretty standard. Here's the earbud case itself. We'll set that aside. Is there anything else in here at all? Is that empty? No, it's not empty because we do have ear tips, and then we probably have like a little USB-C cable to actually be able to charge the thing. I was kind of worried there for a second. All right, so the case does have kind of like a matte finish, which I'm a big fan of. I don't like glossy cases. They get super nasty. USB-C on the bottom, and these do kind of open in kind of a weird way. Like they swoop way down low. That's kind of odd. Those are your earbuds themselves, and of course we're going to have some plastic on them that we need to take off so that they can actually charge and so forth. Nothing too crazy, right? Got your SoundPEATS logo there, a little bit of a different finish on the side, but these are pretty standard looking earbuds. Although I will say this, something I can notice pretty quickly, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves, is how easy or hard it is to get your buds out of the case. That is nice. That is really, really easy. There's some earbuds that I swear, it's like, they're almost impossible to get out of the case. These, look at that. Because of the way that this thing opens, they can just come forward. I like that. That's very ergonomic. And again, you can hear the difference. We'll see what that pairing process is like. I imagine that it should be pretty straightforward. There are the SoundPEATS Air 5 Pros. We're going to go ahead and let those pair, and we should be now good to go. Once you get the earbuds paired to your phone, you're going to want to jump over to the Google Play Store and install the PEATS audio application. I will admit a 2.2 star average review does not inspire a ton of confidence, but we're going to take a look at this anyways because it does offer some decent functionality. So you can manually control your noise cancellation, normal, transparent, change all of that right there. Transparency also has this voice enhancement mode, which to me seems like it makes a very small difference, but it is at least something. You also have this double device connection feature, and this is just a dual pairing mode. So it's connected to 2 of my phones right now at the exact same time. And if I put these in and I click the play button on music on one phone, I hear it. If I pause it and then click play on the other phone, I'm going to hear that as well. And it just seamlessly jumps back and forth between the two. All you have to do is after you pair it to the first phone, put the buds back in the case, press and hold the button on the bottom until the light starts blinking white, and then pair it to the second device, and you're good to go. I always appreciate this custom key option, the ability to go in and customize exactly what your taps are doing to get that exactly where my muscle memory already is really, really helps. Something else that really, really helps is going to be this option right here, which is going to allow you to look at several different presets, but I think maybe even more importantly than that, you can have your own custom EQ. They also have this adaptive EQ feature where maybe you've seen this on other devices. It's going to go through and play tones, and you're going to tell it when you can hear it and when you can't. And it's going to try to make a custom equalizer preset for you. And this really does make a big difference. Really quickly, let's talk about this transparency mode and the noise cancellation. So typically, I have the Pixel Buds 2 Pro in my pocket because they fit great in my ear all day long, and I use transparency mode pretty much all the time, and it works really, really well. I'll say the transparency mode here is absolutely functional and you could get by with it, but there's just something about it that just sounds a little bit off to me. Like I almost sound like I'm louder than I should be. When I'm hearing myself talking, I feel like I'm yelling and I know that I'm not, and that's a little bit strange. I will say that when I switch to normal mode and I can actually, feel and hear how good that seal is, it's really evident the transparency mode is doing quite a bit of work, but it just something about it is just tuned a little bit strangely for me. I think the noise cancellation mode though is pretty good. There's actually a fan in the corner of this room because it stays really warm in here. My microphone does a great job of actually canceling that out itself, but these earbuds, I can't hear that fan at all. In fact, I walked right up to it, and until I was about this far away, I could not hear that fan one little bit, which I guess shouldn't be all that surprising as SoundPEATS is advertising this as the pinnacle of noise cancellation. I'm not sure if I would quite go that far, but I will say that that noise cancellation is pretty darn impressive, and you do have some different modes like adaptive, indoor, outdoor. Even if the transparency mode sounds a little bit strange to me, I do think that the noise cancellation is quite strong and I think will be very effective for a lot of people. So playing a song like Dissident from Pearl Jam and just using their basic equalizer preset, I think that it sounds absolutely fine. They aren't really doing anything in that preset to stand out from the crowd. Things seem, I think, fairly neutral. There might be a little bit of a lean towards heavier bass, but again, you can customize this. So me personally, I like to have a little bit more of a punchy mid-range, a little bit more of a punchy high end, and maybe bring that bass down relative to those other things just a little bit. Just, some brief playing around. This is where I arrived, and it makes a pretty substantial difference. The music is going to sound really different than how it sounded with the stock preset. Going back to this song, and things do have a much sort of more crisp and punchier sound to me, and that's what I enjoy. But again, you can customize this to your heart's content. One thing I wish that they would give us is the option to use your controls, like mine is set to a long press on the left earbud, is going to change your noise cancellation mode. I wish that I could set it to exclude normal and just toggle between transparent and noise canceling, because now if I want to get back to transparent, I got to long press it again, or whatever your control is, and then I got to do it again to get back to transparent. I'm never going to use just normal, so I wish I could just remove that from the cycle, but you can't. I will also say that the assistant triggering, whatever you bind it to, what's the forecast for tomorrow? There you go. That is working just fine as well. I do have one small complaint, one kind of strange thing that was happening. There were some times where these earbuds would be in their case, closed, and in my pocket, but they would remain connected to the phone that I was using, and that was a little bit strange. It didn't happen every time, but just here and there. I'd have to kind of grab the case and kind of open it and close it a little bit harder, and that would make it recognize, hey, the case is closed, stop being connected to the phone. And once again, I have forgotten to include a microphone test in this video, so here I am the following day adding this part in very, very quickly. What you are hearing right now is the audio from recorded by these earbuds. And maybe you can hear that fan in the corner right now, I don't know, but that should be a pretty decent test to tell you how these microphones actually sound. So I think that these are another perfectly solid set of earbuds from SoundPEATS. If you use that coupon and the coupon code and you get them for $60, I think you should be pretty happy with these earbuds. The battery life has been pretty solid as well. We have LDAC LE. We have noise cancellation. We have pretty solid audio quality. It's definitely not something that if you were like blind testing them and you had the equalizer set to a spot where you liked it and you changed between different earbuds, these would sound just as good as some much, much, much more expensive earbuds. And that's kind of SoundPEAT's modus operandi. So guys, that's what I thought about these earbuds. Big shout out and thanks to SoundPEATS for sending them over for me to review. As always, no money has exchanged hands for the production of this review, and they are seeing my review at the exact same time as you are. If you want to purchase these, I will have an affiliate link down below, which means if you click the link and you make a purchase, I will earn commission from that purchase. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it helps support the channel. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, Stay nerdy, my friends.